Hi guys, this is Julie with RoadTrippingMom.com, and before you leave on any road trip you should always check the fluid levels in your engine on all your basic stuff. So I thought I would do that today and show you guys all the things I check, and I hope it's helpful to you. So here we go. Alright guys, here's my engine. I'm going to start at the back here. Right here you've got a brake fluid reservoir, and you can see on that brake fluid reservoir that there is a line that says minimum. Okay, you got to make sure that your brake fluid is to that minimum line. I've never had to change my brake fluid. It's not a really common thing to have to do. Mine's fine right now, so I'm not going to change it, or I don't mean change it. I'm not going to fill it. This one right here is your coolant reservoir or antifreeze. I noticed the other day when I was doing something to my car that my coolant is actually a little bit low. And about 6 months ago I had a coolant leak that I had to get fixed. So I'm a little bit concerned about that being low, but I need to fill that. So one thing you want to make sure that you always do before you check any fluid levels or add any fluids to your car is make sure that your engine has cooled down. So I have not been driving my car for a couple of hours now. It's just been sitting in my driveway. So everything's cooled off, everything's good to go. You want to make sure you don't ever open this cap when your engine is still hot, because pressure builds up in this reservoir. If you were to open it while it was hot, steam would burst out and burn you. So don't ever open this unless it's cooled off. But I'm going to go ahead and add some coolant to this reservoir. My camera down so you can see. Sorry about that bumpiness. So I use this Prestone 50/50. It's a Dex Cool. I drive a Chevy Cruze, and this is what my manufacturer recommends for my coolant. And you can look in your owner's manual and it should tell you what kind of coolant it wants you to use. A lot of coolants come undiluted, so you have to actually mix them with water before you can put them in. I like to buy the pre-diluted antifreeze because I can keep it in my trunk, and if anything were to ever happen, I can just pour it in right from the bottle. I don't have to worry about mixing anything. But I'll just go ahead and put that in. And there are lines on the reservoir too that show me minimums and maximums. I'm just going to fill it up here to the maximum, and since it's low and I don't like that, I'm going to keep my eye on it pretty close the next while. Make sure I'm not leaking anywhere else. I did kind of look down into my engine where those coolant lines run to see if I could identify if there were any leaks, and I don't see anything, so I'm just going to fill it up and keep my eye on it. If it goes back down pretty quick, then I'll probably need to take it in and have them figure out what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and just cap that back on. Make sure it's on all the way. So you'll notice that I will use the same funnel for my windshield washer fluid as I used for my coolant. Some things are okay to mix, some things aren't. I clearly am going to clean this out really good with one of my blue shop towels here to get all of the residue out of it before I use it for a different fluid. So get that all cleaned out nice and clean. Some people fill their windshield washer fluid without using a funnel. I've tried that before. I spill everywhere, so I always use a funnel. But here's my windshield washer fluid. You'll notice that there's a picture of a windshield on it, which makes it really easy to identify. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that cap open, stick the funnel in. You don't want to run out of windshield washer fluid, especially if you live somewhere where you get slushy snow sometimes. If you live somewhere like Utah, you know on those days when there's sleet on the road and mud all over the place that if you run out of windshield washer fluid, that's a bad deal. I'm going to go ahead and just fill this up until it's full. You can basically fill this one clear to the top if you want. Oh, I can hear it coming up, so I better slow down. You can see now in that reservoir, I can actually see the level. I can see the windshield washer fluid in that little pipe there. So I'm going to call that good. Go ahead and cap that back on, make sure it's nice and tight. Alright guys, now I'm going to check my oil level. It's important to check your oil level because if your oil is low, that can cause super major problems to your car, to your engine. So hopefully you guys have learned this before. My dad made me learn how to do this before he would let me drive a car. He taught me how to check my oil. He taught me how to put air in my tires and use a tire pressure gauge and all that fun basic stuff. So hopefully you know how to do this already, but in case you've never have, I'm going to show you. So right here is my dipstick. This goes into the engine block and goes deep into where the oil reservoir is, where it sits. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out. Use one of my shop towels. You can use a paper towel. I just like these shop towels because they're super absorbent. So I'm going to clean all the oil off of it because sometimes when you drive, that oil works its way up the stick and you can't really tell what the level is until you've cleaned it off and try again. So we're going to go ahead and dip this dipstick back into the engine. And then as I pull it out, I'm just going to kind of hold it and I'm going to look at that level right there. And you can see, I guess I ought to put it up there. You can see that it's clear up to that top little area there, which means I have plenty of oil. You can also see how dirty my oil is. It's definitely time for me to get an oil change. And I actually am planning on making a video of that for you guys later this week. So hopefully I'll get that up soon. For now, you can tell my oil level is just fine. If it wasn't, if it was low, you would just grab a quart of oil, make sure it's the right viscosity for your car. And mine's 5W30. Yours might be different. You can see on the oil cap. Right there it says, mine says SAE 5W30. Most cars will just say it somewhere on the engine or on the oil cap. Then you know what kind to buy. You can just add some oil to the reservoir, check again until it's high enough, and then you're good to go. If it's really, really low, you might have a problem with your engine and you probably ought to take it in to have a professional look at it. Because if it's really low, that would indicate an oil leak, which is not a good thing. You don't want to be stuck somewhere with no oil in your car and burn up that engine. And that's an expensive fix. So there you go. I just showed you guys how to check your brake fluid, your coolant levels, your windshield washer fluid, and to check the oil level in your car. I hope that that is helpful. Thanks for watching my video on how to check the fluid levels in your engine. Feel free to comment or share, or let me know if you have any questions regarding my video. Let me know if you like it. If you would like more videos like this, I would love to make them. So thanks for watching. Thanks from RoadTrippingMom.com. See you later.